When I meet somebody for the first time and ask about their goals, I mean, I don't even think sometimes they are realistic about their goals. They want a great life. They want children to have foreign education. They have to have a very comfortable retirement, and they think they will die at the age of 72 because that's the national average. Yesterday, I was speaking to a friend who's looking after her mother, and her mother is 95 and she has dementia, and during times when she's not impacted by dementia, she understands what's happening and she feels terrible about it, and my friend herself is about 60 years of age. So a 6-year-old is looking after a 95-year-old because she's the third among the daughters, and the first two daughters are older than her. So, looking after a parent is so difficult, but we all tend to do it, and we are still unrealistic about how long we will live. We can rationalize about so many things, and we also think now a person can have a great life and do all that provided he or she really dies at 72. What happens if you die at 95? People are not willing to think like that. That humility has to come, saying, I don't know how long I will live. The humility has to come saying, I don't know whether this is a cement boom or a commodity boom or a steel boom or a sugar boom. I don't know. I don't know next quarter what is going to happen. But if I look at it this way, saying, okay, raw material costs are high, therefore cement margins will be impacted, but well, raw material costs will come back. So in the long run, if you need cement, therefore I'm buying a cement company, is much better than saying, I think this quarter cement will do well and buying the same share. So I buy a share at say 110 rupees, knowing that cement is a very important part of the economy. When infrastructure improves, this will happen, blah blah blah, and therefore at some point in time, maybe 5 years from now, I will be able to sell it at 220 rupees. In the meanwhile, I will also get a dividend. Is much better than saying, oh, now it is 110, this current quarter will be bad, so the price may come down even further, but after 2 quarters the results will be good, so I will be able to sell it at 150. That's also rational, that's also right, that could also be wrong, but that requires far more self-confidence than taking an investment decision. Trading is far more difficult than investing. I don't think people understand that. So successful traders are rarer than successful investors. You can be a successful investor by just forgetting to sell some shares or things like that. We may not be very right or rational, but you may have made money that way. Making money successfully trading is far more difficult than successful investing. I hope people understand that. So don't have unrealistic goals. Don't think all your goals will be fulfilled. So first is to say, okay, come to earth and have more realistic goals and have more realistic expectations from equity. Don't expect 22% return in equity. More like 12% is much better. If you get something lesser, don't be very sad that this has happened, because over long periods of time it has happened. Right? If you are in the boom and you're at the peak and you invest, it could take 20 years for you to just recover your capital. Forget getting returns, right? So these things have happened, and there is so much data and so much evidence in your own portfolio. If you go back and see, I can't see how you're confident. In fact, I can more see why you should be more humble. I mean, it's true generally across, for everybody, for me and you. I have 2 fund managers whose names I'm not at liberty to talk about, and who talk a lot about their failures and mistakes. In fact, one of them says, if I just talk about my mistakes and keep on talking about it, people will stop listening to me. That is so true. We don't want to hear about mistakes because we are happy making it, but we will not measure, we will not do any of those things. So we stick to some unrealistic goals. We have some like dying at 72, and we also have unrealistic expectations from equity and other portfolio returns. We know that we have made mistakes in the past. I see CEOs saying they'll get a 30% return. Now, if you are a CEO and you are presenting your annual accounts to the board, do you get 30% year on year return on any of your investments? It is just not possible. So humility helps, because humility also tells you that last time you expected so much, this is what you got. So when you have rational numbers lying in front of you, I don't see why you will not be humble, because many a times we are perfectly precise and we say this is what is going to happen, and we go completely wrong. But we don't write down what we think is going to happen. Chances are we will be proud, because we will forget. The mind beautifully eliminates all those things which are bad about us. It keeps the good things. It keeps telling us, oh wow, you're great, and that is what makes us more overconfident and precisely wrong, rather than bumbling and not being sure. Like if you have invested in some company, go and try getting contrarian views. You try finding somebody saying something terribly bad against the company or against the management, or saying the board is bad, or saying the auditor is compromised. So go and try to find data completely contrary to what you're saying, or talk to the trade, talk to somebody and say, I like this mills, how is the product, does it sell? Right? Don't just go by the numbers that is thrown to you. Do some armchair research at least before you come to conclusion, and go and analyze your past mistakes. I know I can do videos on my past mistakes, but the thing is, I have the luck of knowing whom to talk to, and luck of coming out of it very quickly. So I come out of my mistakes very quickly, and therefore it does not make me humble, but it makes me I wish it made me humbler, but it makes sure that I admit my mistakes and correct it immediately. That is one advantage of knowing whom to talk with. It's not made me humble. I wish it makes me humbler. Thank you.